Hello everyone, welcome to my website. I'm a立命館University student and this website is my project I completed for my English course JP3. The subject of this project is to explore the phenomenon of fandom and especially now the fan groups of China's controversial idol Xiao Zhan. The reason I want to do this research was inspired by my cousin. We used to have a good relationship and we can talk about everything, but since she entered high school, her grades have dropped and she doesn't like to study and refused to communicate with me anymore. I was frustrated until I happened to find that her wall was stuck with the most controversial idol in China today, Xiao Zhan's post. Fans of Xiao Zhan, who have always been regarded as a scourge to me, actually appeared in my family. So I started to pay attention to this community and wanted to know them more. That's the reason why I want to begin this research. And to understand this crazy fan, we have to start from Xiao Zhan. Xiao Zhan, he was a graphic designer who joined the reality show X-Fire at the age of 24 because of his dream to become a singer. And Xiao Zhan then debuted as a part of the idol group X-Night in 2016. Also starred in a number of acting projects, but it wasn't until the Untamed, a TV play show in the summer of 2019 that he earned his biggest break. The Untamed is the live-action adaptation of a boys' love BL novel called 魔道祖师 that boasts its lead actors Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, which played this TV show with Xiao Zhan to make it stardom. However, after the Untamed, they suddenly became famous in China and especially in BL circle. They have their own CP fans, like the fans of both of them. And in February 24, a writer on Weibo published her new chapter of fan fiction and also uploaded in the Laughter, a fan fiction platform in China. And she also posted in AO3, A Chief of Our Own. This is a chapter of her story that is fan fiction based on Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. Since the Untamed, they are a big fan fiction couple. And in this story, Xiao Zhan was described as a gender dysphoria character. So he appears to be a she. The character based on Wang Yibo is written as a high schooler, and this story also got a Weibo painter to do its cover where Xiao Zhan's face was end up on a woman's body. When this story got posted very soon, Xiao Zhan's single fan. A single fan means who claim that they only fan of Xiao Zhan but not other people. The single fans community got angry over the content of the writing and also picturing Xiao Zhan as a woman. So they started to attack the writer, and a quite big fan started to encourage other Xiao Zhan single fans to report this writer. Her writing, her account on the Loft, it's a other app in China, on Loft authorities on the basis that writing is defamation on the actors and feminizing him, and it contains sexual content. And the result, and in February 27, internet users began to notice that some content from sites like Laughter and Bilibili had been taken down. News of Xiao Zhan fans reporting the site also broke out and sparked outrage, thus giving birth to the 227 incident. The impact expanded to circle far beyond the fanic community, with manga and even esports fans standing together in support of creative freedom. And in February 2029, Chinese users finally lost their access of AO3. AO3 says the issue is not on their end and seems to be due to suppliers like China Unicom and China Telecom disconnected their local network from overseas. So at the end, AO3 was being blocked in China and blew up and become one of the most searched topic online. Due to its far-reaching impactions, there are many angry parties even report about suicide attempt. And after I realized that the influence of the fandom culture is so great and so not ordinary, I once did a questionnaire to try to directly understand the thoughts and the feeling of that group young people. But I found they are very exclusive and aggressive. So I gave up this method and switched to connecting information such as opinions of others on and what did they do to understand this circle. I have found some features of the fandom. The first feature is their operates like a company. There are strict levels and division of labor within the fan circle. Fans are organized under the leadership of the leader and to increase their idol's influence and control public opinion. In other words, they just work like a company. Most fans are employees and the other part of fan with leadership, just like companies executive. And fan circle culture is dependent on idol culture and is the evolution of star chasing behavior. There are many reasons involved that's why the pure star chasing behavior becoming a crazy fandom culture. And let's start with the characteristic of the members of fandom. Most of members of them are at a low age and are in the transitional stage from teenager to adults. At this stage, they desperately need a sense to identity and participation. But the actual situation is that people at this age are faced with huge academic pressure and lack of spiritual life. They are the age of people think their main goals is to study. Most people think that learning is the first priority for the people in this age. So because the lack of spiritual life and the extremely demanding of identity, participation and vital energy can be satisfied in the star chasing. Through the star chasing, they can find similarities and witness the growth of idols together. As the way of communication become more convenient, those loose fans who had been gradually gathered together to form their own small circle. At this time, it can be called a fan circle. It can only be called a star chasing group. That is the normal phase. Before the capital intervention, this kind of group star chasing behavior may still have a chance to develop healthy. But after the capital intervenes, this will become impossible because there are huge interest and benefit in it. The influence of an artist determines the level of endorsement and advertisement he can receive. The income is not all attribute to the artist, but to be divided with the agency company like entertainment company. It's far less convenient to maintain influence through good works than to directly create influence. So as I just said, the members of the fan circle are generally low in the age, and they have always listened to their parents at home or listened to the teacher at school. So they subconsciously execute command rather than question them. They will not ask why, because they are lack of mature view. So they are easy to manage and fund. What the capital needs is to give it appropriate goals and formulate a plan while intensively brainwashing them. And there is no need to worry about execution because they will just follow it. Why does the fandom circle have serious exclusiveness properties? The reason is that only in this way they can be better control the fan community and brand them in a small world. In their eyes, only their idol cannot see others, and naturally, they will do their best for their idols. This is also the reason why the fan circle culture become more and more weird. Capital itself have no will of good or bad, what should or shouldn't. They only have benefit in their eye. They do whatever they can do to achieve their goals, and the fan circle naturally become like this. Is this fan circle culture good or bad? Judging from the current situation, the fan circle culture is not in a healthy development and is going on a questionable path. The reason for this has been mentioned before is the profit-seeking nature of capital. But the problem is that what capital is regarded as a tool is the young people who are in the stage of gradual soundness of their worldview, and what kind of influence will left on their future life. Take an example. What are they usually do along this system? They do so-called making data. Making data means specifically switching accounts. They usually have 2 or more than 2 accounts to do some work such as ranking list, to vote for their idols. This is a data front, but they don't think so. On the contrary, they feel that they are very honorable after putting the data up. They are improve their idols' influence. So this distorted principle will not only harm to them in the future, but also harm to our social reliable system.